To me, the end of the day is I'm still here. I cannot believe my good fortune. I never thought I would reach 20, 25, 30. And here I am, born in 1933. I cannot believe my good fortune. I repeat myself, I'm elder, I get away with it. It's like in November, I'll be 92. I am telling you, there's nothing I cannot do today that I did not do 40, 50 years ago. It's not magic. Yeah, there is divine intervention. I don't know, but God, Jesus was my cousin. I know that now, so I feel safe. When my mother and sister, 5 years older, they were beaten down all their life. And to me, I'm so defiant. Yeah, I jumped out of a plane. My granddaughter, Talia, Bobby, we were in Auckland visiting with her friend. I'm going to jump out of a plane. I said, okay, if you can do it, I can do it. No, Bobby, old lady. No, what if something happens to you? Well, it wouldn't be your fault. And what a way to exit the world. So little me, little ugly little Jewish girl like me, for me to be, yeah, I'm barely 5 foot, don't tell anybody. I'll never lie about my age, but I'm not shrinking. So to share my life with optimism, if I can do it, you can do it. And I'm a poster child now for aging long and well. And guess what? I'm not alone any longer. There are a lot of centenarian and supertenarian people coming up. So when my vision is to live till 123, because somebody died at 122 in 164 days. So if she can do that, I can be in Book of Guinness. Cut. Okay. Having fun. Everything is not a big deal. And that comes out all from my being pushed in a corner. I had a normal life, whatever that was. We used to go Sunday to the park visiting. I remember playing with my cousins. In Chernovitz, it used to be Austria when my parents are born, so my mother tongue is German. And then the Romanian came, so Romanian. And now it's Ukraine. So I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I'm not scripted. I could not follow myself there. So my daughter, she's 64. I cannot imagine she's 64. My son is 60, an old gray man. I cannot hard to find them. And she wanted to go and see where it all began. Well, there's still the house. It was like a compound in Chernovitz. Upstairs, there were like condos, 4 apartments, my mother and her brothers with my cousins. And downstairs was a factory, an iron factory, which is very unusual, my grandparents, very unusual for Jewish people those days to have a steel factory. They were usually teachers and preachers, but not factories. So I come from very unique, unusual family. Look at me. I'm very unique. Not bad, unique. So when we went there, it says she could not, I was a really tough mother, because unless you're dying, pick yourself up and do. I still do. Okay. And when I say that I go back and forth, I would not be the person today if I would not have gone through that mayhem that no little kid should go through. I was a curious little kid, and my mother used to punish me because I liked to go into the factory and look the sparks. And she said, don't go there. I didn't listen. I went anyway, so I was punished. Okay, so it is like, you ask so many questions. Mother, what's happening? And then mayhem started. I was 7, they said, because what do I remember? 7 is 7. So those contorted faces, because it was a family compound. My uncles, my father, what is happening, mother? Don't ask so many questions. What's happening? So we were running into the attic to hide when we heard dog barking. The Nazis came, and it suddenly happened, and they were chasing Jews. They had those barking dogs. By the way, I have issues with dogs. I've been wounded, so that should be the worst. I'm trying to learn to be around dogs. Okay, I'm evolving, huh? So yeah. So suddenly, my father, the word was, I heard it because I don't remember, it's like he could not handle the stress of being hunted, coming looking for us and hiding. He couldn't handle it. So he decided, let's go to the train station. Now, my uncles who worked in the factory, they were safe. They needed them. The German, Romanian needed them. But my father was an accountant. He worked in an accounting business in there. And so a neighbor, I remember very vaguely, on a carriage, my father, mother, come on, get dressed. So my father looked like a puppet, put on a lot of coats and hangers. We could not bring anything with us. And I wore all that kind of thing. So a neighbor, a Christian neighbor, took us on a wagon to the train station. And I can tell you, I see videos, and fortunately, I'm very detached. I see it, I know it happened, but again, as a psychologist, how lucky am I that I know it's your problem, not mine. So that detachment, I don't know how one gets to be that way. Because again, it's like, it did not make sense to me what's going on there. Jews, dirty Jews. I didn't know I was Jewish. So when we were at the train station, I don't know how many of you saw Schindler's List, a movie. It's okay, it's an old movie. Right. So you see those train stations, and the screaming, Yankel, Mendel, oh, people get lost. There was mud. And those Romanian or Nazis, I don't know who they were hitting and beating. And it's like, I just did not know what, absolutely mayhem. And I saw things that no kids should see. And by the way, 4 years is a long time from 7/11. I have blocks of memories. I just see, jumping over dead bodies, a lot of preoccupation with death. Look out the window, we have 20 bodies laying next to each other. And you know what? There's no underage kids here. Can I talk about sex? Okay, so again, we were 20 people laying there. There had to go things going on, sexually, whatever. Because again, I was spooked to think of a man with a penis. I was kind of, something has to go on. And then I remember going to that little window and looking outside. That was like absolutely branded in my head. I see that flicker and look outside on a little stool, and I saw those. I think they were those people with shirts on. They were probably Jews. They were picking up dead people that were laying on the floor every morning. People died from typhoid and starvation. We were a holding camp. They didn't get to us fast enough to put us in the oven. So when I remember looking out there with fascination. I wasn't Einstein, but I was a curious little kid, looking out there, and they picked up those ugly bodies and threw them on that little wagon. And I thought, maybe I'll be dead tomorrow. I don't want to die ugly. I want to die beautiful. Guess what? I will die beautiful. It is look at me. No, stop it. I put implants because when my mother died, she had to take out, when you go to the hospital, you have to take out appliances. She looked ugly. Here we go again. So I decided, I was already married with kids, I decided I don't want to die ugly, following from my vision, I want to die beautiful. So I went against everybody's recommendation. I don't care, don't tell me I cannot do it. I had all the teeth taken out and put in those teeth. You can never take them out. Look how beautiful they are. And by the way, I'm Elder Taylor Swift. Those are extensions. Don't tell me I cannot do it. So my point being is that defiant little me is an outcome from that. I was pushed in a corner, and I didn't hear the words, but you're ugly little Jewish girl, you have no right to live. And that defiance of me, my mother and my sister were beaten down. To me, it didn't make any sense. I'm not dirty. I don't want to be Jewish. What's going on there? So me, whatever, defiant like crazy. So I saw there in front of the train, I know I'll go back and forth, my father looked like a puppet with those coats on him, and they were beating him for whatever reason. So I wanted to go and help him. And my mother, my mother took me back. She did not want me to be killed, because literally what I saw in front of the trains, we are speaking about, unfortunately, will never be the brutality of people and the kindness of people. I've experienced that too. It's like, I never forget this man. The Nazis came to hit. He tried to protect his wife and kid or whatever was there. They took him away and I shot him in front of my eyes. A baby was crying. I don't make drama, no fake news. They just grabbed the baby and threw it on the phone, whatever. So when it happened in Gaza, when it happened in Israel on October the 7th, whatever, so help me. We are speaking about PTSD. It just came back like crazy. I saw what happened there. I saw what happened to me, what I witnessed. And we're speaking about, I had to calm myself down like a nurturing parent. You're okay. You're not there. You know how that is. So I repeat myself. I'm entitled to it. I would not be today the tough, little, strong person that makes a difference in the world. I'm telling you, I don't break, I share, because my voice is heard. We're speaking the resilience of a person. And I don't think you can learn it, or you can be inspired perhaps, but to me, it was a natural, like in the train, they were in the train stopping at stations. They kept on stopping and pushing in more people. It was in Ukraine there. And again, I was scared that it would come. I was in a corner. I don't know where my father was, but my mother's holding on to me. So I was scared, but I started to think, if that is not resilience, what is? I started to think the sound of the train. Ta, 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 ta. Dirty, schmutzige Juden, dirty Jews, dirty Jews. So again, I calm myself down. What 7-year-old kid does that? Mm-hmm. So again, you don't learn wisdom. It's part of my gene pool. Not in school, nothing. But my point being is my define, don't tell me because I'm Jewish I have to die. That was my MO, it still is. And don't tell me because I'm a girl. I cannot climb trees with the boys. Don't tell me I cannot be married and have kids and have a profession. Don't tell me. Because again, I was outside of the block. Everybody judged me because my peers were nice women, an extension of their husband. That's what they're supposed to be. And so again, I did not know it, but there was this woman in the 20 bodies laying there. She was wailing and crying, an old woman, probably 40, 50, what do I know, I was 7. Mm-hmm. That contorted face of hers never left me. Mm-hmm. So I always knew, I did not know that someday I want to be a healer. Mm-hmm. So again, in Israel, so the Russians liberated us, we were alive, which they say it was like a miracle, whatever that is. We escaped, we were alive, but like this. Literally like bodies. We had yellow fever, typhoid, starvation, we were like this. So we kind of somehow the war is screaming, whatever the Germans were running, and it's like mayhem, and then the Russians were in the camp. It was like a jail, camp. And I remember very vaguely. Can you imagine 4 years? Okay, somebody had to teach me how to read and write. There were professors there, there were doctors, there were all kinds of things there, because I learned how to write and read and math and physics. The word was also that I was singing. We had to do something. The only thing I remember, though, is like boys and girls, we kind of ran and, the dead people. And again, in a corner there, the boys and the girls were examining each other's privates, whatever. It's like, that is all I remember. So when we got back to Romania, before we got back, the Nazis made us, because in that jail, in that kind of camp, was like probably, kind of like maybe Thousand Oaks, I don't know, maybe Hidden Hills where I live. But they had some Ukrainian people that were local. And I don't remember, but the word was, I was told, they made us, because my father spoke German and Romanian, the Nazis took him away to work for them. and we're speaking about very unusual, but we had food, big stories. My first book I documented. I never wanted to write a book, but anyways, there's a reason to the madness. So when the Russians came back, the Ukrainian mother and daughter, they really hated us because we took away a room for them. It was a small little place. So they told the Nazis that my father was a collaborator with the Germans. So they did not let us go. They put my father into a Russian jail in Ukraine, okay? So then, here we go, everybody's leaving, and my mother was very weak and subdued, but she was strong when need be. She was the strong one. So we could not go back home. Everybody was walking. There was no cars or anything, I don't remember. So she thought, we have to go and get Papa. So her resilience, the story is, I don't remember, is that she found an old pair of shoes. She went, all three of us, my sister Judy, me and my mother, we went to the jail and we bribed the Russian soldier with a pair of shoes, and they let him come out. He was a broken man. My tall, handsome papa, I wanted to be tall like him. I ended up short like my mother. He was literally broken down. He couldn't even say stuff. They put him in with all kind of bandits and whatever. So he was laying there on the floor outside the jail and crying, I cannot go without me. And my mother, Mendel, his name was Emmanuel, Mendel, come up. So my sister was crying. I was strong for Mama. I helped putting Papa up with my mother, and we walked, who knows how long. We ended up somewhere in a farm, in the middle of the night, and we knocked at the door, and somehow we were there, and I don't remember how we got to Cherno, where I was. And we came back to our house, our uncles were gone already to Palestine, nobody was there. And Russians lived there, families, and they would not let us in. And they said, you can live here if you are the cleaning lady. So my mother was the cleaning lady, and we had a place to just live summers. Don't remember about my sister, but I was so skinny, I was so thin that they were worried that I'm going to die. So somehow they figured out my father and me barely got to a village. And I hope I don't go over my time. You'll have to tell me if it's 10 minutes to go there. So I went to a farm, to Christian home with the farm, and she was milking milk from a goat with the hair, and she was pushing it in my mouth. I didn't want to do that. So they fattened me up and all that kind of thing. So Romania wouldn't let the people out, but somehow in 1949, my sister could go to Palestine with the youth group. They let her out, but the Romanian Ceausescu didn't let us go. So in 1949, after Israel became a state in 1948, we were able to get to Israel. That was another amazing experience. All that kind of thing. So, and then here I started to evolve. I felt safe. The Israelis, even now, they're very dugri. What you see is what you hear. No fooling around. That's so safe for me. So I went to learn the language in a farm, and I milked cows and the horses, and I cleaned up whatever, and I learned the language. So, and then when I was 17 and a half, you either get married or you go to the Air Force, or you go to the Army. And I was not a trader. My few friends were traders. They got married. And to me, the country needs me. So, okay. So yeah, so I went to the Israeli Air Force. And how did they accepted me. I was educated, high school, whatever. And then the rest is history. And my speak is like my life in Israel. I thought I would be there forever, but destiny had it to visit my sister in Los Angeles and meeting up. My first boyfriend really loved was a pilot, and they shot him down. So that was another thing. Don't ever go close to anybody. So again, the rest is history. Destiny had it. I met Jerry Miller from Kansas, Missouri. He was a teacher, and he didn't know what happened to him. So when I was saved, my son was was first grade, I decided I'm going to go back to school to become a healer. And I said, Jerry, I'm going to start going to school. Okay. He thought he could be more president of the United States than me being a doctor. Guess what? 8 years later, nonstop, I got my PhD with his help, opened mental health clinics, advanced the probation about respect. And he died, I've been married 53 years, and he died 12 years ago. So sorry. I miss him. His time was up. I'm still here until 123. And you're going to get a bookmark. If you want more detail of my blessed life, I don't know, God. If that's the case, you can follow me, but I'm getting to shut up.
Because we can learn more.
Did I make it to the minute, or did I go?
No, you're good. You're not over.
I'm not over? 5 more minutes?
Sit down.
Well, I'm a storyteller. I can go on forever. And I'm so grateful to have people that are educated. People, mere fact that you're here, that means there's more than just cooking and cleaning. Who philosophizes? I vote all over the world, 120 countries. I did not know that many. Absolutely. So it's like the old with these, without these, 3 generations live in one little hut, with these, without these, they smile, whatever, and they have a life. And looking at me, my 5 grandkids, they're really good people. I'm a great-grandmother now, 4 generations. Can you imagine that? It's not my fault. So it's like life is a gift that keeps on giving, and I don't take anything for granted. You can tell. I was in Europe for 2 weeks, and then Michigan. My latest grandson, my youngest, graduated. I came home on Sunday night. I was out and about. I fainted. I had a big bad virus. I was in the hospital for 3 days. Guess what? I'm still wobbly. Can you tell? You can't tell. So my point is being attitude is a lot to do in all of the above. So I ignore myself because I know, I will never not drink when I travel. Because, I don't want to go out. My bladder is not as good as it used to be. So not drinking when I'm, no. I learned the lesson. It taught me because I'm going to travel. In 2 weeks, I'm going to go to Europe again with the family. It's like, diaper yourself up. I don't care. But you are going to drink, huh? So life is an adventure, guys. No stressing out. Stress shortens life. Everything not a biggie. It's a problem solving. It's like, what can I do with what I cannot do? And I'm not in La La Land. I'm so positive, and I'm a treasure, never mind to you, to my family, to everybody that hears me. Because I said, I don't want to hear it. You repeat yourself. You're boring. What can you do? Nobody's dying. You're not going to be homeless. We all encounter things. We are not dinosaurs. You hear me? What can I do where others not? And just life doesn't owe us anything. I'm grateful that I'm here, and I know you hear me because everybody has some issues. Shit happens and good stuff happens. So embrace it all. We are still here, all of us. Okay?